Friends, 1461 days of war between Russia and Ukraine and 136 days of ceasefire between Hamas and Israel. Situation in Middle East continues to be volatile. The Israelis continue bombing Gaza Strip, acquiring more and more powers to throw out Palestinians in Western Bank and bombing even Lebanon and various parts. Yesterday they killed almost a full family. In the meantime, there is information that five Iranian Kurdish separatists groups formed an alliance on 22nd February. They are PJAK, Komala, PAK, ADKI, and Khabat, and the new formation is known as Alliance of Political Forces of Iranian Kurdistan, and their prime aim is to overthrow the Iranian Islamic Republic, right to self-determination for Kurds, establishment of a national democratic institutions. Do you think this is possible without the intervention of CIA and Mossad? Yes, there is also a fact that thousands of Kurds were killed in Iran's uprising previously. Situation in Russian-Ukrainian war zone. In south, in Kherson, heavy bombing was carried out by Russian drones. In Zaporizhia, especially in east, Ukrainians counterattack from Orestopil towards Tarnov is pretty successful as they breached Russians' defense line and took over Radozhne and advanced in Pryluki up to the center. In east on Pokrovsk direction, Russians advanced ahead of Toretsk area, and fight is also going in Rodinsky area, which is under their control. Further north towards Konstantinivka and Slavyansk, Russians advanced towards Kramatorsk along M03 highway after taking over Bondarne, and their advance has accelerated. Russians have also taken over Minkivka and advanced between Novo Marko and Pryvillia. Now Russians are 14 kilometers from Kramatorsk if you take the direct distance from Maikivka. Soledar Siversk region fight is on along Reznikivka, Swato, Pokrovsky and near Kriva Lyuk and in Nikiforivka regions. In northeast Ukraine, Lyman direction, Russian army continues advancing though at slow pace, and as far as Kupiansk is concerned, positional battle continuing. North Ukraine, that is north of Kharkiv, in Volchansk directions, Russian made gains on several fronts like Khatnensky 200 meters, Staritsa 300 meters, and no change in Seminovka but 300 meters in Volchansky Khutori. Sumy, almost in 9 directions, Russian made gains in last 2 days, more than 500 meters. Heavy interdiction mission continuing. As far as Ukrainians are concerned, they claim more than 100 UAVs were launched towards Moscow, and Russia claims that more than 20 of them were shot down. What happened to the rest? Not known. And Russians are continuing their massive attacks deep inside as well as on the border in Ukraine with drones, missiles, and all forms of weapons. What you have been seeing in background are from Mexico. There, the National Security Forces killed Jose Guerra, the most wanted drug trafficker, on Sunday. He was heading an organization called CJNG, Jalisco New Generation Cartel. Jalisco is their state, and this is one of the biggest criminal cartel that deals in drugs, mafia, and other extortions. It has more than 25,000 trained personnel on the line of military training. In addition to propaganda, psychological warfare, it holds grenades, sniper rifles, launchers, rocket launchers, and even armored vehicles, including tanks. And they have devices to counter chemical attacks. So, after their leader was killed, they started attacking several international airports, especially in this Zalisco state, seaports, gas stations, military installations, security guards installations, etc. Just imagine, created in 2009, this organization has risen to this level, and with the help of US arms market, and of course snatching its own armies many or several vehicles and armored vehicles. And we have difficulties in building up people's armed squads along with their revolutionary parties, and when especially the people rise in millions, and our so-called leftists think that revolution is not possible in today's era. Lastly, Russian FSB has said that it is clear that third countries, primarily UK, were behind attempt on General Alexiev's life, who however survived. This fact is very clear. There's no need for us to quote FSB that 50 plus countries and their intelligence are working against Russia. Well, that brings end to my today's talk, friend. See you later. Thank you.